It is now my great pleasure to introduce the CEO of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Tom Donohue, to say his closing remarks. Tom, over to you.
For 38 years, the annual American-Turkish conference has gathered leaders from our two countries to discuss the importance of this bilateral relationship. This year, that conversation is a little different as we convene virtually with all of the challenges that offers us. But for all of that, the things that have changed during this pandemic, one that has not is our commitment to strengthening our two countries' working relationships. The partnership between the United States and Turkey encompasses business, national defense, diplomatic ties, and this year particularly, public health. The partnership has been on full display as our nations responded to the COVID-19 pandemic. In the United States, we're facing a unique set of challenges that I'd briefly like to touch on. First, we're experiencing a K-shaped recovery, where some industries have rebounded sharply and are doing very well over the past few months, while others remain in a free fall. Second, our businesses are in need of another round of government aid. And unless Congress can reach a deal in the coming days, these businesses will face an increasingly challenging and uncertain fall. This is all happening against the backdrop of a highly consequential presidential election in November, and it's getting very exciting. I know Turkey, like every country, is facing its own challenges. And with the pandemic and the global slowdown in the economies, as allies and friends, we can and should continue to manage our collaboration and support for each other's return to health and return to economic growth during what we all agree is a difficult time. We appreciate Turkey's generous donations of personal protective equipment early in the spring when we most needed them. And we're encouraged that Turkey is participating in clinical trials with U.S. companies and scientists as we seek potentially life-saving vaccines heading into the fall and winter. We know that our countries are stronger when we work together. And when we come from a place of understanding and cooperation, tackling shared challenges, pursuing common goals, and working to strengthen the ties that bind us are what this conference is all about. This week, leaders representing the highest levels of government and business shared their vision for U.S.-Turkey commercial relationships. Discussions focused on several key areas for our continued growth and partnership, including expanding trade and investment between our two nations, prioritizing energy and sustainability into the future, investing in infrastructure to meet our nation's needs and those of countries we partner and trade with, strengthening our defense and aerospace industries, building a more resilient digital economy for the 21st century, promoting women in business, and continuing to cooperate every day as we combat the COVID-19 virus. This is a broad and significant agenda, but with the strong leadership of the business community in both countries, we can make real progress. The U.S.-Turkey business communities have our sights set on the $100 billion trade goal set by President Trump and Erdogan, and this week's conference has laid out a roadmap of how we're going to get there. For our part, the Chamber has identified what we think are the 5 key things we can do over the next year before our next meeting. First, to create a strategic vision with recommendations to advance our partnership after the U.S. presidential election. Regardless of who's in power next year, we look forward to working with our government to advance our critical ties with Turkey. Second, we want to continue to advocate for strengthening the U.S.-Turkey commercial relationship. Third, we hope to convene the U.S. business mission to Turkey and a reciprocal Turkey business mission to the United States. So we better hurry up with those viruses and get vaccines that are going to take care of it. Fourth, we want to host the U.S.-Turkey Investment Forum in Turkey to strengthen private sector ties in the country. And finally, we hope to convene an investment forum on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in New York next year. Of course, we hope that we'll be able to hold all these events in person, but we're committed, and we've demonstrated we can convene these critical business missions virtually if we need to. Our two countries' relationship has been successful because it's been based on mutual trust, partnership, and ingenuity and integrity. Strengthening these ties will only grow more important as the rolling reality of the pandemic goes on and we hope comes to an end. Whether in person or virtually, during times of economic struggle or success, our two nations are stronger together than trying to run it alone. Achieving that starts with an active and cooperative business community. So I want to thank all of you that are here today for your commitment to advancing our shared interests of our two nations, of our two groups of citizens that very much need each other, and our two business communities. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed being here. I look forward to doing this in person next year, but we stand by to do it no matter what. Thank you very much.
Always addressed this conference for the last 5 years. We thank you for your remarks, and we will definitely take you up on your offer to do it with you in person next year. Thank you. And in closing, I want to thank all the speakers, moderators, and attendees of the conference. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce's U.S.-Turkey Business Council and the Turkey-U.S. Business Council, TIC, look forward to continuing its work to strengthen the bilateral business relationship between the U.S. and Turkey. We heard from TIC's leader, Mehmet Ali Bey, at the start of the conference, and the Honorary Chairman of the U.S. Turkey Business Council, General James Jones. And in conclusion, we heard from the Chamber's CEO himself, Tom Donohue. We are committed to the relationship and the deliverables that Tom Donohue has outlined, restarting the U.S. economic and commercial dialogue with recommendations to the next U.S. administration, continued advocacy and education about the benefits of the U.S.-Turkey commercial partnership, a U.S. business mission to Turkey, and equally important, a reverse business mission from Turkey to the United States. And I know our co-chair of the council, Tamasaka of Sabanci, Kimcha, is looking forward to leading that. And then hosting an investment forum in Turkey and in New York during the UN, like we have done for many years. We will now, once again, thank everyone and leave you now with a video capturing the magic of Turkey. So thank you and farewell. And we now turn to this wonderful cultural event.